Let's talk about what's going on over in Iceland. All right, we got a big volcano going off. It's pretty cool. Check this out. Eruption in Iceland may mark the start of decades of volcanic activity. Now, I didn't know that was going to be a thing, but this is interesting. Check this out. After being shaken by 15 months, see, I didn't know this either, increasingly disruptive earthquakes, including about 50,000. That's right, 50,000 earthquakes in the past 3 weeks. Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's the way I say it, is finally experiencing the volcanic eruption that many geologists suspected was on its way. After nearly 800 years without an eruption, this southwest strip of the country has experienced lava flows that experts have said say have been a long time coming. And here is a beautiful shot of that. See if I can make it a little bit bigger for everybody. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see. On Friday, March 19th at around 8:45 p.m. local time, molten rock breached the surface in a valley near a flat-topped mountain named Fagradalsfall. I don't know if I say that. Fagradalsfall? Fagradalsfall. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that. In the region of Geldingador, Geldingador. Bear with me. 6 miles from the nearest town, incandescent spatter erupted along a crack in the earth, scorching the soil as small lava fountains illuminated the dark landscape. The eruption involves a relatively small amount of lava confined in a series of valleys, making it unlikely that any population centers will be threatened. This type of molten rock is very fluid and trapped gases easily escape. And it's not erupting into water or ice, so it won't become especially explosive, generate a sustained ash plume, or fling any sizable volcanic blocks across the region. Scientists believe the eruption will persist for a few more days or weeks before fizzling out. But this modest eruption could mark the beginning of something bigger. Evidence from both historical accounts and ancient lava flows show that whenever this region has experienced a major uptick in seismic activity, intermittent eruptions followed for around 100 years. The signs are that it's reawakening, says David McGarvey, a volcanologist at Lancaster University. The Geldingadalur eruption therefore provides an unprecedented opportunity to study the long-term volcanic activity of southwest Iceland. Scientists are scrambling to monitor what may be the opening salvo in a series of volcanic volleys, which could provide clues about why the peninsula flares up just about once every 8 centuries. Sitting on a landward position of continuously spreading mid-Atlantic ridge, the Reykjanes Peninsula, about 17 miles southwest of capital city Reykjavik, is no stranger to earthquakes. But since late 2019, tremblers have become more frequent and more energetic. Icelanders on the peninsula, particularly those in the coastal town of Grindavik, have had trouble sleeping lately due to the constant shaking. This heightened seismic activity is thought to represent a transition from a gradual opening of the rift to a considerable more dramatic phase when both sides of the peninsula are rapidly pulled apart. When a geological rift quickly pulls the land apart like this, it creates an empty space, and magma rushes up to fill it. On March 3rd, acoustic signals associated with the injection of magma into shallow crust emanated from between the mountain Fagradalsfall in a series of fissures that erupted long ago. A new eruption seemed extremely likely, but no lava followed, and the acoustic signals vanished, says Thorberg Augustador Dottir. Jeez, these names. A seismologist at Iceland Geosurvey. Instead, the sheet of magma known as a dike wandering about underground for the next few weeks. A seismic activity and changing shape of the ground allowed scientists to roughly track its movements. They caught it oscillating between the northwest and southwest of the peninsula, causing cracks to appear in the earth above as it went. I call it the dithering dike because it didn't seem to know what to do, McGarvey said. This is a scientific term, all right? This guy is the one who named it. I just think it's hilarious. It appeared to be searching, but to no avail for a place it could breach the surface. Over the past few weeks, the seismic activity in the region declined, and most dikes cool and solidify before getting a chance to erupt. This led some scientists to suspect an eruption would not occur at all. Iceland's uppermost crust is peculiar, however, acting somewhat elastically, meaning it's a little closer to toffee than hard candy. The crust in this area can stretch a little to make room for magma, allowing the dike to infiltrate the rock just below the surface without causing violent fractures and producing those telltale acoustic signals. This stealth mode is typically for eruptions that happen along fissures, such as those along the peninsula. Scientists in Iceland had just been in the field and all of a sudden the ground is opening. August Dottier says, apparently the waning seismic activity in this region, instead of being a sign of calmer days to come, could in fact be a precursor to an eruption. On March 19th, the Icelandic Meteorological Office picked up a few low-frequency earthquakes that may have come from magma moving towards the surface, but these were very subtle events. August Dottier says, with no way to know when or where an eruption would happen, local authorities continued to tell people to stay away from the fissure-riddled area. That evening, lava began erupting close to Fagradalsfall inside Geldingadalur, a natural depression whose name means Eunuch Valley, possibly a reference to early settlers' practice of castrating animals in the region. After failing to find an escape hatch to the northeast or southwest, the dike apparently broke through the middle because both directions were kind of jammed, says Tobias Durig, a volcanologist at the University of Iceland. A webcam on a nearby ridge first caught sight of the lava. Coast Guard helicopter was dispatched to the site, and the pilot quickly spotted the embers of lava spitting and hissing at the sky. Lava first poured out of the meandering fissure 1,650 feet long, but over the weekend, the eruption focused its output on a single spot, building a steep, towering cauldron of freshly cooled rock. Smooth rivers of lava crept around blockier, rubble-like lava. Lava flowing at the steady pace caused the cone to suffer a few partial collapses as it flung blobs of lava across the scorched earth. The dike of magma is small, just over 4 miles long, and the eruption is confined to the valley that is surrounded by more valleys, preventing lava from escaping the area and threatening any population centers. Sulfur dioxide, a common volcanic gas, is being emitted by the eruption. However, even small quantities can irritate lungs of those with respiratory conditions such as asthma. But so far, the wind is blowing the volcanic gases away from populated areas. Scientists say one possible concern is that a new fissure could suddenly and unexpectedly open up near the current one, ambushing anyone in the area. That could easily happen, and that could happen fast, and it would not be a good place to be. I have to just pop this, check this out. This is a picture of one of the cones. This might be the main cone that they're talking about. There's a straight up party going on. People are like, I gots to see this. Look at this. They're straight up partying. And I thought it fitting that I show you that right after the scientist was like, yeah, there could be other fissures that can open up at any time, at any moment. So be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful. However, overall, scientists believe this will be a largely unhazardous eruption. Thanks to easy access to the area, researchers are throwing their entire toolbox at the eruption, seeing it as the best chance they have ever had to understand the unusual tectonics and volcanism in the region. Some have scooped up lava and rushed it to the lab, hoping to unravel the specific chemistry of the material. Durig is flown back and forth over the eruption using radar to determine how thick the lava flows are and estimate how much lava is erupting. Evgenia Linskaya, I don't know how to say this name right here. A volcanologist at the University of Leeds went up to the eruption this weekend wearing a backpack full of instruments that analyzed the compounds gushing out of the fissure. It's a very special thing to get close to an eruption site. Linskia says, during the eruption's beginning, she was greeted with a cacophony of booms and whooshes under her feet. It shakes you to your core, she says. This is something that's really, really powerful. You feel very small and very insignificant. I've only been in one earthquake in my life. And I was actually living in New York City. And I was sitting in my apartment. I think I was maybe playing a video game. But I remember sitting there, and I remember the wall behind me doing this, you know, just kind of like a wave kind of a vibe. And it was unnerving. That's to say the least. I was in New York City. I wasn't expecting to ever deal with an earthquake in New York City. And supposedly it traveled all the way up the East Coast from North Carolina or some sort of like big, huge, like a fracking, I don't remember exactly what it was. Maybe something collapsed and it sent a shockwave up the coast. And this was maybe around 10 years ago, maybe. I don't exactly recall. Maybe 9 years ago. But it was just like this person said, you feel very small and very insignificant. And that's how it felt. Like I felt, it gave me a little bit of a upset stomach because I was like, it was so weird that my room was waving. It was like it was waving. It was really, I was like, is that me or did that just, but then everyone seemed to have the same kind of thing. Yeah, it was crazy. Against official advice, thousands of people living in the peninsula have gathered around the eruption site, treating the ridges as an amphitheater. One group lingered for too long and then got lost looking for their cars in the dark. Someone was also caught trying to fry eggs and bacon atop the lava. That's pretty cool, though. Trust humans to be like, yeah, I'm going to go try to cook on this lava, right? I mean, that's good for that person. And I hope they didn't get in trouble. And I'm glad they didn't get, if something would have happened, I feel like we would have heard about it, but I'm glad. And it said predictably with little success. Either way, that's kind of a great little story. You know what? Let's see what that is. See if there's some sort of picture.
Eldgosið við Fagradalsfjall hefur verið kallað skútuna sína.
Já, ég veit ekki ekki alveg svona margir.
Oh, that's how you say the name. Come on, let me see the cooker. Is this the guy cooking? Let me see if they... Oh, here's a guy with the drone. I actually have a really cool drone shot to show you guys. I guess this is just like an interview of a bunch of people that were there. Check this out, though, while we're on the subject. This is drone footage of the event. I don't think there's any sound. No, there's not. Look at this, though. This is of a lava flow. Beautiful drone footage of this. Oh, did it just... It stopped for me as well. Look at that. I think it goes to slow-mo here. How did this drone not melt? Look how lucky this is, because it goes through some stuff. Oh, gosh. Dude, how did you not worry that your drone was going to get melted? The comments on this tweet are like, most drones are plastic. That would have melted. And it's like, okay, most drones, but obviously if you're thinking you're going to send a drone over a volcanic spot, you should at least make sure it can handle it, right? I don't know. Pretty insane. Let's see here. I'm just going to continue here. While volcanologists are taking the opportunity to study this eruption, archaeologists are scrambling to figure out if the lava threatens any significant sites. Based on historical records, experts believe a burial site thought to date back more than 1,000 years, perhaps belonging to a notable figure, could be right in the path of the eruption. According to the local news report, archaeologist Oddgeir Isaacson of the Cultural Heritage Agency of Iceland sped to the scene in a helicopter shortly after the eruption began, but he was not able to find evidence of the burial site before lava overran the area. I mean, Okay, that would have sucked. What were you gonna do? What could you have done about it? Right? I mean, what was it planned? Okay, it is here. This is the burial site, and then the lava overtakes it. I mean, I'm not making light of the situation. It's just like it sucks, but you know, he was not able to find evidence. But if he was able to, would he have taken it with him, or is that, you know, like, would they have tried to divert the lava? Anyway. The eruption is probably going to peter out in the coming days or weeks, and the bigger earthquakes keeping people awake may also drop off for a bit. Small eruptions still release some pressure, but there are hints that the fireworks are far from over. The amount of seismic energy released for this small eruption is disproportionately high, McGarvey says. There could have been a significant amount of tectonic shifting across the peninsula, meaning additional pockets of magma could make their way to the surface. Based on the geological history of the region and studies of somewhat similar eruptions elsewhere in Iceland, another eruption from a different fissures in Rockjan's peninsula is a distinct possibility. Ilinskia says, but this could transpire in days, weeks, or months, even years. It may involve a similar amount of magma as the current eruption, but it could release significantly more. The possibilities of future eruptions is underscored by the fact that the type of seismic shaking leading up to last week's eruption has happened before, 3 times before, in fact, in the past few thousand years. Historical accounts and layers of ancient volcanic rock suggest that each time this area experienced a significant increase in earthquakes, it culminates in several decades of eruptions, jumping from fissure to fissure all over the peninsula. The small and relatively safe eruption occurring now therefore provides a stellar opportunity for scientists and emergency managers to prepare for possible bursts of lava to come. If this is the start, this is good training, August Dauder says. So it's pretty cool that, I mean, it is beautiful. And I've actually never seen molten lava in my own life. I feel like I would be one of these people that go there to stand in front of it. I think Nisha actually has. She was sailing around in the South Pacific, and she actually went to a volcano. I think it was active. I'm not actually sure now if it was active or not, if she was able to see molten lava or not, but very cool. One of my bucket list items, as you could say.